Good afternoon, everyone. Joined in the commentary box by Dan Davies. I'm Simon Webb. I'll talk you through this game.
Hello. Right. Are we on?
I think we're good to go. Yeah, we're on.
We're good to go, yeah?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay. Right, first frame. Last 16, are we at now?
This is a last 16 match. A lot of the last 16 matches are already completed, but this is... trying to find it on the draw, actually. Yeah, this is... yeah, you got this match and two others that are still going on in the last 16, so the quarterfinals is starting to take shape. The big news so far, I expect this was probably talked about in the last session, so I apologise if we're covering old ground, but the champion of the last two events is out. Mark Boyle's run has ended, so we will have a new champion in an open event this year, losing 7-5 to Clint Jansen.
And we still have Mark Farnsworth in.
And still got Mark in. So
who's the other
yep.
form player as such?
In fact, Mark is waiting for the winner of this match. Still got one last 32 match on. Ronan McCarthy's playing Steve Thompson. That's the last 32 match. It's been played on an outside table, so the bottom half of the draw is a little bit behind the top half. But yeah, it's all starting to take shape.
Tricky finish here for Ben. He's I think he's got the only angle that he wanted, that he could have that was any good to him, because he's got quite a small margin for error. But this shot's going to be key to the frame. Just to get out, doesn't want to be awkward queuing.
He's a touch unlucky there.
He is awkward queuing, but he's perfect on the double. So I think he has little choice, but I fully expect him to get that. I'd say that's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 as a double. Yeah, he couldn't have been more perfect on it. Slightly awkward queuing. Missable. First frame, though. Good confidence.
He looks confident, doesn't he? He looks very sharp.
Well, we heard Ben earlier in the weekend. I think it was yesterday. He was in the commentary box and he was quite open about how much work he's put in and how much he's been practicing and playing, which is it's nice to hear.
Yeah, he's really rededicated himself. He had a little break from the game, didn't he, for a year or so, and
yeah,
he's back and rededicated. And
a bit of hunger back for it, and
yeah,
he said he was playing 15 hours a week. I mean, that's got to be right up there with anyone.
Depends whether that's 15 hours a week or he's if that's dedicated practice or just, you know, playing pool with some friends, because I think there's a big difference. But I think that when he was talking about that, he was saying it was dedicated sort of practice time, practice matches, I think, more than anything. Yeah,
because he's got so many people where he from his area that play, that the group of Welsh players. I mean, there's about 8 or 10 Welsh pros.
Yeah,
and they all seem to live really, really close to each other. They all seem to come out of the, I suppose it's quite natural, because they all practice with each other. They're going to get better and better, and they're going to end up being the pros. But yeah, I don't think you'd be hard pushed to find anyone on this tour that's more at this moment in time more dedicated than Ben.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. He's been handed an instant opportunity to
make this 2-0. Yeah,
to make this 2-0. Looks like the red-yellow at the top are a natural plant. So
yeah, I think we can see from camera 4 as well that the yellow goes down the bottom here.
So you're immediately thinking yellows.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't use, if that red-yellow is a plant, you don't need to play. You don't need to develop with free shot. So
no,
you could do something else with your free shot if you wanted to.
Yeah. So I think your first shot you're probably going to. I think that actually the red and yellow in the top right plant. So you may not even need to use that as your free shot. But they're all there apart from that, really. It's just that those top 2 yellows.
Yeah, he made a side to.
Well,
I was wondering whether he wanted to develop one of the ones on the rail, the top 2 left yellows, just to make them slightly easier if he wanted to.
Just going to play the plant now, and then he'll have the yellow. Yeah, so he's got an obvious yellow.
Certainly not overcomplicating it at all.
Just keep it simple.
They're all open and just now work the route out now.
I think we'll probably see him leave the yellow over the left middle, second last, come down for the yellow at the bottom as his last ball. So it's just a bit. He's just figured out his route now. He's a really quick player, Ben, but you see there he's just took maybe 45 seconds to just stare at the table when he's got an easy pot on, and all he's doing is just figuring out his route, making sure that he knows exactly what ball he's going to take, one after the other. You'll probably see him now, as long as he doesn't lose cubical control.
Oh, that's incredibly careless.
That's
wow.
Really careless, yeah.
He didn't.
You see, he didn't really get down to it. He was stretching a little bit, and it was such an easy pot. He didn't give it any respect, really. That's the only reason he's missed, obviously.
He didn't think he could miss that, and it was a stretch for him. And obviously, with him being a slightly larger chap, it's hard. He doesn't want to foul the balls at the bottom, so compromised, and he's kind of not giving it the respect it needed. Yeah,
and although the Reds don't look like they're gimmies, Neil's going to get into his bad ball now. This ball on the cushion, he may even just land on the plant. No, he's got it out, and it's kind of joined the dots now. Apart from that's gone a little bit awkward.
He wanted that to stop probably 2 inches less, maybe an inch less, and it would have been lovely.
I think he would have done it in sections, the 3 or 4 reds at the top here, and then leave himself the angle that he's got now on the red at the bottom right hand side of the table to come over for the bottom 2 on the bottom cushion as his last 2 balls. So you may see him take a slightly different route now, but he's just going to have 1 or 2 shots to play in this clearance where he just needs to leave himself the perfect angle, and needs to be really tight with his cue control. But I expect him to get it. He hasn't got much choice. He's 1-0 down. Ben's playing really well. These sorts of matches, they'll hinge on 1 or 2 mistakes if there even are any. I think he's got the angle he wants. I think if he screws up table now and comes close to the middle pocket, or just above the middle pocket, potentially play the red highest up the table near the blue spot into this bottom left corner, and then he'll be able to give himself the angle he needs to.
I'm wondering whether he's got just a fraction too much angle. Probably not. He's probably okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I think he would have definitely preferred to have had the white a couple of inches to the right as to where it is now. But whether he can dig in enough to...
That's not finished great for him at all. He's a bit awkward.
It's not, no.
He's got... I'm not sure of what he was playing there, because unless he was maybe playing on the one on the right-hand side and he's just overhit it a fraction. I don't think he was playing on the ball that you were suggesting.
No, I think he was maybe playing a cannon, because it's hard to see how it could have gone wrong playing it at that pace if he'd have cannoned the red or the yellow, because if the white stays where the red is, he's going to be on the red on the right hand side cushion. If it flicks the yellow, he's going to be on the red into the middle. Not 100% sure what he was trying to do there.
It looks like he's probably going to have to play the one down the right hand rail now. He might be able to see the one at the bottom left of the table, but I'm not sure much positional advantage of that.
Playing this run inside makes it missable. It's a good shot. I think this red still goes into the middle, but it's where the white ball's going to go after, because it's probably going to flick the yellow above it.
But this is why you were suggesting getting rid of the red in the at the upper end of the table now, in the middle of the table, because if that wasn't there now, potting these 2 onto the black would be lovely. So he's now got to get back up to that one. So he wanted to get rid of that earlier.
And also saying about there's going to be 1 or 2 shots in this frame that he needs to have the right angle. If he'd have just been slightly further right when he was taking the ball into the top right corner, he could have just screwed back and played this red into the bottom left corner. But that's why I think pool's a lot more difficult than people realise because there's such fine margins.
Yeah,
It can be the difference between running out of position and not.
We were talking an inch or so further right, and
Literally,
he would have been able to screw to exactly where you said, and then the rest of this finish would be as he's doing now. So,
yeah, literally.
Tricky little shot this, delicate positional.
Doesn't want to go too far. See now, I think.
So if he pots this red, is he going to flick this? Not the yellow he's nearest to, but the yellow above it.
I think he has to, yeah. But if he flicks it half ball and drops the red in to the middle dead weight, he's guaranteed a shot on the black.
He was looking towards the left-hand side of the table, so I'm not sure if he's planning on screwing this in.
Might be planning. If he tries to screw this in, I think he's gonna hit the yellow that he's closest to, or flick that maybe. It's just gone. I think he was trying to get himself too perfect on it rather than just.
Yeah, just a plain ball shot there, and he probably would have left himself a shot on the black to the bottom left. Yeah. Yeah, tough shot this though.
Table 18, Mark Bowen and Sean Bates. Mark Bowen and Sean Bates, table 18, please.
It goes without saying that if Neil doesn't make this black and gives Ben a second opportunity to win this frame, he'll be frustrated. But he'll be doubly frustrated because it was such a careless, bad error from Ben that it would have really annoyed him.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to really punish a bad, careless mistake.
It's a tough shot. It's the mine where the white goes after as well. Two cushions towards the corner pocket.
13, Matty Challen and Liam Pedley. Matty Challen and Liam Pedley.
So tough.
13.
So Ben gets a second opportunity in this frame that he really didn't expect. When he missed that ball through slightly carelessness, he would have mentally written it off as a frame lost. So now this is a bonus for him.
Richie Oliver and Wayne Lewis. Richie Oliver and Wayne Lewis, table 6. And table 19, Andrew Herriot and Lee Thacker. Andrew Herriot and Lee Thacker, table 19. This is
when Ben came to there, all the balls went. There was a sort of fairly wide open table, and one of the things I've noticed just watching in sort of local league pool, a lot of you out there will have played, is that people tend to want to pot with their free shot, and you very often see at this level that all Ben's balls went, but he just decided to roll one down so it was over nearer the pocket, just to make that finish a fraction easier.
Yeah, it's just keeping a simple game simple.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about the sort of nice one-pace rhythm that Josh had, which is definitely slower than Ben's. Ben's a very quick player, but he's got a nice rhythm to the way he plays. It doesn't look rushed in any way at all. He's quick, but without looking rushed.
Yeah, it doesn't look rushed. Yeah, I mean, I know Ben can definitely play very quickly. I don't know whether he does that sometimes if he doesn't feel like he's playing well, or if he's got the ump, or but when he's playing really well, he tends to just play fluently rather than really quickly. But he's definitely, because he's so aggressive as well, he's definitely up there in the top, easily top 10 or maybe even top 5 of best players to watch from a neutral's perspective. How he plays the game, flamboyance, bit of flair, he's right up there, I think. Former world champion as well, by the way, if anyone's not sure. I mean, I think it was about 10 years ago now, maybe 12, 13 years ago. I think he was only late teens, or maybe 20, 21, something like that, and he won the 3PO Worlds. He's a top player. I think Neil's in that position now. We're on about him being 2-0 down. I think it's the worst type of 2-0 down. That sounds stupid now, but you'd rather break nothing down, your opponent clears, then your opponent breaks and clears. You're 2-0 down. Right, I need to get into the match. When you're 2-0 down because you've had a chance in one of those frames, it hurts so much more.
Yeah.
It needs to reach just. Yeah, it hurts so much more, and it's just that little bit more of a challenge to get back into the match when you're 2-0 down and you've had a chance and you know it should be one each. It's a different mindset altogether. So this frame becomes obviously even more important.
It helps. It just adds to the negativity in terms of that last shot he's just played there, which all the reds go. So he was trying to bump the black into play, so that it was nice and easy to get on as his last ball, as the black was the only ball that didn't go. But he's underhit it by, 4 or 5 inches, and now he'll be annoyed that it shouldn't cause him a problem. But he'll probably be looking there going, "Oh, that was annoying. That was a bad shot." Rather than if you're playing well, you'll just go, "Well, okay, I'll get on that black where it is," sort of thing. You think differently, I think, when you're feeling, positive about the way you've played so far.
Mark Shepherd to table 10.
And there was a little bit, you see a little shake of the head there. He wanted to be a little bit further over to the left so that he'd planned his route, and he wanted to take this, the red closest to the left middle next. And he's just going to have to reroute slightly here, but it shouldn't be a problem. But it's quite clear there, Neil didn't want to take that ball next that he's just taken.
So you think he's leaving the red, what's he leaving till last? The red just inside the one he's about to play now to left middle? Or, to be honest, he could leave the one on the right hand side as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those clearances where he's got options. I think he'll come across table now, take the right into the top, the red into the top right, and then left middle again, and then just screw up table from.
So he's leaving the one to the top left as his last ball.
See him there, he just stood behind exactly the line that he wants to be, because he doesn't want to, he wants to be straight on this basically. It'll just stun back a little bit. Important you stun it here, you don't want to, if you leave yourself straight then you can't get close to the black. So yeah,
there is a bad angle if he out there, if he
you have to be sure.
Just get slightly off the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's not an ideal. You'd have to really force something or accept a harder black.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Well, you see there, just experience from Neil, but you see, it's such an easy clearance with 2 balls left, but he just making sure, just composing himself. He came round, looked at the angle he needed, a sort of half a point with his cue, exactly where he needed to be. So what he doesn't want to be doing is screwing close to the middle pocket here. But I think he's perfect just to screw.
Yeah, I think he can just screw straight back. Yeah, Neil's middle of the bottom cushion. He's got loads of margin of error.
That's perfect. He had to dig in a bit there, but he's perfect. And that's 2-1.
Table 18 to your second call. Tricky second call for table 18. Mark Bowen, table 18.
So that mistake from Neil last frame is probably gone now. He's won't be thinking about that anymore. This should settle him down, and we'll get him into the match. So see if he can make a ball and level the scores up. 1967. So we can walk you through the draw a little bit as it's taking shape. The Mark Farnsworth, the number one ranked player, is waiting for the winner of this match in the quarterfinals, and the winner of that will play either Jordan Shepherd or Clint Jansen, who are playing in the quarterfinals as well. They haven't started yet, but that is their quarterfinal match, and that's the top half of the draw as Neil goes in off the break for the second time.
It was a poor one as well. It was straight in off. Yes. I did one earlier, and the most frustrating thing to go directly in off is because
it's a bad shot when you've done that, rather than it being unlucky.
If it gets kicked in, it gets kicked in, but if not, it's just a miss hit, and that's frustrating. But yeah, looking at the draw, I think bottom half of the draw is going to be Simon Ward is in the quarterfinals. He plays the winner of Liam Dunster and Ryan Fleming, an all-Scottish match. Michael Peel beat Sean Stebbing 7-4. and he'll be the final quarter-final. He's playing the winner of Greg Batten, and Greg Batten is still waiting for an opponent. He's waiting for the winner of Steve Thompson and Ronan McCarthy.
Yeah, so bottom half of the draw is lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Who's your fancy from that lot then?
Jordan Shepherd.
Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah, I think from you've seen it before many times actually, when your crop of I don't know, 10, 20 players that can potentially win an event. When one of them comes off the back of a big money game win, they quite often go deep into a tournament. And Jordan Shepherd's won a couple of tours. I think he's won a tour and a pro event before. So
I think that's it with Jordan. When he plays well, he wins tournaments.
Yeah, he can lose to anyone, but he can also beat anyone 7-1 in 20 minutes. So yeah, he's my pick. Who's your pick? You can't pick Jordan.
I can't pick Jordan.
No, I've got Jordan.
I tell you, I'm going to go with one step further than you. I'm going to pick the final and the winner. I'm going to go.
You might as well pick the score as well.
Okay, I'm going to go Clint Jansen beating Liam Dunster in the final 7-5.
Oh wow! All right.
Get your money on now.
So you're having Dunster to beat Ryan Fleming, then Simon Ward. Okay, all right. I think Dunster's.
The reason I say that is, I said before the season started, I think Liam will win a tournament this year, whether that be an open or a professional event. I think Liam will win a tournament.
Yeah, he's made a final, didn't he?
He made a final in Warwick last year.
Lost to John McAllister.
And what he's done away from the IPA in other tournaments in Scotland and internationally at international team events, he's tracking in the right way. I think he's right there. I think he's the next player to break through and win a tournament of someone that hasn't already won a tournament.
He's set. It's hard to disagree with that, really. I think he's quite dedicated. He plays an awful lot, practices. He's really good temperament, a really good, what you might call tournament temperament.
Yeah.
Where he just finds a way to win, even when he's not playing at his very best. He's got a winning mentality.
Yeah.
That lots of people with his ability just sort of haven't got. He's got that grit, determination, bit of hunger, bit of see, Ben's rerouted there. He does this quite a lot, Ben. He isn't scared of going up table, then back down table, then back up table.
He won't be happy with the way that's landed. It looks fairly straight. Or it looks like he's got enough angle to punch out a bit.
I think just about. He'd like a bit more angle, but.
David Law,
he was really able to create an angle there. That didn't look like that was on at all to go that high up the table.
No. I'm just going to use the side cushion. There's a guy. This red obviously goes. I think he's got a whole pocket, a full pocket. Did he have a full pocket? It wasn't obvious that he had a full pocket.
No,
I don't think
he could have played. I mean, that was the obvious pocket to play for it in, but he could have played it for a different pocket. He had options, so I expect he had more than half a pocket anyway. I think he may have been just not been able to see one jaw, possibly.
Maybe that's why he rerouted and came up table, because he didn't want to play red left middle and then have to screw up table off that red that he's just missed.
Possibly,
if he's only got half a pocket. So that's maybe why he's left that to this last ball, because he wanted to be perfect on it, so he could just drop it in.
But Neil's
makes sense now. He's
not left Neil a great opportunity. You still want to be yellows, but yellows are a favourite for the frame now. But I think Ben's probably going to get a chance to fire at it from a couple of cushions. I don't think Neil's going.
Will, yeah. I mean, there's an obvious snooker just rolling into the two yellows on the left-hand side of the table, but then it's bound to leave an easy side cushion escape.
Yeah. So what Neil's doing now is looking for where on that cushion he can leave it that will make it hard for Ben. He doesn't want to leave Ben a one cushion or a two cushion. He wants to make it difficult for Ben.
That's right, and he's putting his hand in such a place where the black's going to be. The black's going to be. He needs to get the pace on this right. Doesn't want that in.
He wasn't trying to pop that.
Potentially here, if Neil can play this plant onto the left-hand side cushion, I don't think it's frozen, and push the second yellow, stick to the first yellow.
I think it might be
I think
frozen.
it's touching. That's what. Yeah,
He's
Neil's
just pulled. He's just looked at it and he's pulled a face. I think that yellow's frozen, which makes a huge difference.
I don't think it has to make a huge difference.
I think
The white can still touch the cushion afterwards, and it can still push the second yellow. If he pushes, well, basically, he needs to leave the white where it is, stick to the first yellow, and push the second yellow so that it's blocking the side cushion escape. See, zoom camera.
He's.
Hell.
I know the shot that you want to play is still on, but I think it just adds to something that could go wrong here. I think.
Yeah, the difficulty of it. The other thing is sticking to that first yellow, because it's a half ball plant. So is the yellow going to come away from the cushion? Is the white going to follow it? It's not an easy shot. This is a horrible shot.
You're going to be playing it fairly slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, the chance you could foul here.
You definitely could. You can see there from that super zoom. I think it is touching the cushion. Might be coming thin off this yellow. Background to no. Delicate shot. Played really well.
That's a clever shot. That really is a good shot.
It's way more difficult than it looks to play that shot. Horrible, twitchy, nervy little shot. You're quite far away from the first ball. Really.
It was so easy to catch that a fraction thin or thick and just leave Ben a look at this. This
too
red.
hard, too soft.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it looks, that shot.
And he's also got it in such a way. This is a very difficult hit for Ben now as well. This is not. This isn't simple.
No. And Ben's going to need all his 15 hours a week of practice to hit this ball, because playing these sorts of shots where he's definitely going to be having to use side on this cloth. If you're not used to this cloth, you would play this shot slightly differently to how you would on the green cloth. I expect Ben to get really close though. I think he's just looking at the top cushion with left hand side.
Yeah,
right hand side. Sorry.
Yeah, those two yellows look come in large. It's normally, if those two yellows on the left hand side weren't there, then he's actually got a bigger target, because he could hit slightly wide of the red, and it would still get it. But he's probably got half the target, maybe not quite half the target, or just more than half the target he would have if those yellows weren't there. So.
He's jacking up.
Quite a lot of side on this. No, way too much in there.
It's a tough shot though, but
yeah, it's
it should be 2-2 now, and I think Neil will definitely be the happier of the two, wouldn't he?
I think Neil will be the happier of the two, but Ben will be also thinking, I've made two very, very poor mistakes by his standards, and I'm only 2-2. It could have been worse, for both players.
Yeah. Well, in theory, you should always look at the positives, I suppose, and
yeah,
that would be Ben's positive look on it.
Yeah.
So Neil just going to cannon into this other yellow next. No, he's not. No, it's fine.
It's hard to see how where the mistake could come in this.
A kick. That's about all he can get.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that can go wrong. Every match in our last 16 so far has been 7-4 or 7-5.
So you're saying we're due a decider? Is that what you're thinking?
Due a decider, and I think again this isn't going to be this game isn't going to be won easily by anybody. It's, but barring luck, i.e. kicked in off the break and that sort of thing, it's But I can't see this not being a close game.
I think you're right. You can see just in their mannerisms around the table was they fill in the scorecard and set the balls up that Ben does look more annoyed than Neil. Neil's probably feeling a little bit relieved to be 2-2, and Ben's probably a fraction frustrated to only be 2-2. So.
Yeah. Would you say Neil's got a better temperament than Ben?
I don't want to say Ben's got a bad temperament. When he gets annoyed, or when I've seen him get frustrated at the table, he doesn't show it too much, visibly with his mannerisms and angry. But
yeah,
he speeds up and he can, but he still plays incredibly well.
Well, I think all he's really doing, and when I say temperament, he's not necessarily. But yeah, when he speeds up, he's just trying to find some form, and I've seen it work for him really, really well before. It's great to watch as well when he runs around the table because it's. I think he. If the balls are all there, he does like to just get rid of them, like quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't overthink it. Sees the shot, hits the shot.
Yeah,
it's. He takes his time on a shot when it needs to, when he's planning out a route, and you see this quite a lot even with quick players. Their first few shots, can take a little bit of time, and then all of a sudden it's they've got them all in a row, and bang, 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 they rack the balls up again.
He's definitely one of those. He'll happily take a minute or so figuring out his route and figuring out the clearance, but when there's 5 balls left and it's dot to dot, he'll finish them off in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you get the sense when you watch him play that he never plays a shot without having a clear pattern of what he's trying to do in his head.
That's right.
But he still plays quickly with it. So, whereas you see, thought he missed that.
Maybe saying he's had a kick there. I think he did go thick into the pocket. The white did seem to,
and he's a long way.
Take a bit of a line up.
I think he's a long way from where we wanted to be with the white as well.
Yeah. If we look at camera 3, he has got a whole. Yeah, well, he's got 3/4 of a pocket for this red that he's about to take now. See, and he's just flicked it, and I don't know if that's. Not sure if.
Camera 4 shows that it goes.
4, it does go, yeah. He actually probably play this with top and go into the yellow and red, because it's either that or jack up, and I don't think he'll be playing this shot anytime soon.
Yeah, this is it's obviously a very simple pot, but positionally this is tricky.
Yeah, because if you flick into the yellow and red together, you're not guaranteed to know how they're going to come out. In theory, if he flicks half ball off the yellow, the white's going to go over towards the 2 reds on the left-hand side. Is he going to be glued to one?
He would like, actually, I think, to avoid the red and yellow together if he can. If he can punch it in.
Yeah,
that's what he's looking at. If camera 4, although he's going to be in the way of it in a second. Yeah, there we go. If he moves out of the way, we'll show you. He wants to avoid the red and yellow and hit the black, and he'll be fine.
Or it's a bit out there, but just drop it in and leave the white exactly where the red is now, and leave himself a more difficult red in the red next to the yellow as a cut up into the top left corner.
Yeah,
because then he's got a natural to go into this, and he should come out all right. But that means cheeking the pocket on this, and he's tricky. Let's say he's going to take his time. He's took well over a minute for this shot. And he's decided to come back, wants that to slow down.
He's got a couple of options here. He can drop this in and then take the one down the left rail.
He's looking at maybe.
He could stand across and hit the black.
Yeah, it's just that if he rests into the black, he will leave himself a bit of a bad angle on the red, just below the black. So again, he takes some figuring out. Not really. Interesting to see what he does. played it at the top, and it's just hung.
Yeah.
He was going to play the. I think he did the right thing actually. If you don't need to go into a ball, don't go into a ball. As I've always sort of been told that. And you hear a lot of the top players talking. You don't want to be breaking balls out unless you really, really have to. So he's just taking a slightly more difficult pot there.
Yeah. He would have expected to make that. So
I expect him to, yeah. But I think Neil's hardly come to the table with an easy clearance though.
No, he's got problems. Although the yellow that's in the top half of the table on the left-hand rail is probably fairly simple to double if you get slightly low on it.
Probably, unless.
Although I didn't expect that.
Unless
I
you
didn't
missed the
expect
first
this
yellow.
there. Yeah.
I think we can see Ben now do exactly what he was going to do before. He just needs to get the white. Needs the right angle on the red into the bottom left corner. As we look at it.
While Ben's thinking of that, I can just update you to the final match in the last 32 has been won by Ronan McCarthy with a win over Steve Thompson. So he now plays Greg Batten in the last 16. And that is the right at the bottom of the draw. Obviously, if anyone wants to go and check out the scores, go to IPApool.com and the links through to our live scoring pages. And
needs to come away perfect.
He's okay. He's okay.
He didn't play it like that, but yeah, he's perfect. Just needs good touch on this shot. Needs to get the white. Wants to get the white right behind this red and play it into the top left corner. But he needs to be at least straight. And if you've got any angle, you want to be slightly too far right. That's perfect. It'd be slightly closer if you're being really picky, but that's a good shot.
No, I think that's.
This is frame ball effectively.
He's very happy with where he is there. Yeah. Oh, he's missed it.
It's a bit of head movement there. I think he's quite such a natural player. I think he just trusts his hand-eye coordination so much, you know.
So there's probably been more mistakes in this match in 4 frames than I expected for the whole match in total. They're both giving each other hope that they'll get another opportunity. They're both making a couple of bad mistakes.
Yes.
I don't want to say that was a tough pot, but you know, Ben would have expected to make it.
Yeah, everyone that knows the pool knows knows what we're seeing. It's the last 16. Two of the IPA's very best players, and it's a bit of an edgy start. It's normal. It happens in tournaments.
Yep.
You can be playing. That's part of the what makes your achievements of your Mark Farnsworths and Mark Boyles all the more impressive is that it's one thing playing well and queuing well, but just doing it match after match after match after match, that's a different skill. So many people that are so capable of beating anybody, but aren't ever likely to win a tournament because the skill is doing it match after match.
Yeah, it's winning matches like this one where it's a bit edgy. You can't play. You know, whoever wins the tournament today, you can ask them. They'll say they've had a match or two today where they weren't quite on it, and they found a way to get through it and win.
100%. You whether it be I've obviously won a hell of a lot more local tournaments than these, but whether it be a local tournament or a higher standard tournament, you've normally, it's very, very rare where you can say you've played really well in every match. You normally have got 1 or 2 matches where you've just sort of got through, or you were in trouble and you dug yourself out of it. And this could well be the match for. Well, it will be. Already you can see from Neil or Ben. I mean, this could be
that yellow on the left
either way. This
match. No, absolutely. I mean, but that yellow there on the left-hand side, it couldn't be in a more awkward position for Neil.
Yeah. Right.
It's horrible to play it down the rail. It doesn't really double.
He's very close to the side cushion, isn't he? He's almost touching the side
almost
cushion.
touching, and he doesn't really have a ball that he can move it with. I think
it's half an argument for him just dragging this yellow into the knuckle of the bottom right corner and just snookering Ben, I think.
Which I thought that's what he was going to do for a second. But,
he's attacking. Although he's methodical, he's a very attacking player. I think most are.
Do you think he could play? I was thinking, could he double the yellow into the yellow and play the snooker at the same time?
He definitely could, yeah. I don't even think it's entered his mind.
Because this is some pot he's going to try.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. If you're playing at dead weight though, you probably the white's naturally coming out towards the blue spot. And you're probably not going to leave an easy pot.
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably better that he's got so much angle on it. It would be an easier pot if he was straighter, but the fact he's got so much angle means he's not leaving a simple pot if he misses this.
You're right.
Just takes the pressure off a little bit. Obviously, if he misses it, he'll be leaving at worst. He'll be leaving Ben a double of some sort.
Yeah.
Potentially a thin cut.
Clearly, the biggest match of the biggest shot of the match so far.
Yeah. Just the way Neil goes about his game and the way he thinks about the game. I am a little surprised that he hasn't tried to find a snooker.
I think on other days he might have done.
Yeah.
Whether that's because he is confident or isn't, I don't know. But he's playing it with a bit of drag as well. He's certainly not punching and screwing this. He's playing it with drag. That's a great shot.
What a great shot.
And there's no justice there.
That's really unlucky. What a great pot.
That's so harsh. I know, in theory, he's played it at a pace where he's going really close to it, but it's a bit... That's harsh.
Do you think he can snick this in the middle? Do you think that's just not on? If that's not on, there's no aggressive option. He's probably got thin off it and leave the white on the bottom cushion. That's probably as good as option as he's got.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he'll snooker Ben behind the black, but that is harsh. I mean, if he flicks it slightly thinner, slightly thicker, hits it slightly harder. I'm feeling hard done by there. All about touch again, this shot, and he's okay. Maybe he wasn't trying to snooker Ben. He's just left Ben a really difficult pot. Really difficult pot, and you don't really know where the white's going.
So you're thinking cutting it to the top right, or are you thinking double?
Cutting it to the top left.
You're thinking top left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's cut more of a cut back on yourself. I was thinking maybe he might go right, because it's the white's to the left-hand side of it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's...
whichever side he was going for.
To just punch it, to just play it up and down table and leave Neil a difficult black. I don't think we're going to see Ben do that. What
about the double into the bottom left, dead weight? Do you think he could leave the white in the top right-hand area of the table, leaving
just
Neil...
pointed his cue there, as if he might look at doing that.
Because then, if he doesn't make the double, then he's got a chance to cover the pocket for the black, leaving Neil something very, very difficult.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is an option. He's looking at the cut now.
Yeah.
Ben's such an aggressive player, you know he's going to go for it, but you kind of don't trust the white here. He's got to hit it hard.
Yeah, so he is going for the top left. That's exactly what you're...
Yeah, but the white's going top cushion, side cushion, bottom cushion, possibly towards the middle, but possibly off the left-hand cushion towards the corner.
Oh, great pot.
So,
great pot.
Yeah, it's missed the middle. Towards the corner, he's left as hard a shot as he could have left after potting that.
Yeah.
Bit harsh again, but I suppose, in theory, he should have hit it harder, but this was a great pot and he just made sure. I fancy him to get this now.
Yeah, no such worries with the white on this one. Just make the pot. The white's not going to be a problem for him.
No. You see he's looking at playing the black into the bottom right corner. Yeah, he's got that. Crowd's involved.
That was a great 2 pots to win a frame of Paul. Neil will count himself a little bit unlucky there.
He's got his fans above him.
Yeah, Ben's got a few fans above him.
I watched Ben on the shot there, and it was only because I noticed earlier he moved his head quite a lot on a shot, and his head was, we couldn't see, but his head was so still when he cued that black.
Yeah. Just flicked up the scores, the tournament as it's shaping up there. You can see exactly what we've been talking through. You've got the winner of this plays Mark Farnsworth, Jordan Shepherd and Clint Jansen in the quarterfinals, and Simon Ward's waiting on the winner of Liam Dunster and Ryan Fleming, and Michael Peel's waiting on the winner of Greg Batten and Rona McCarthy, who have just been called to the table.
Good break from Neil. See how many balls have gone into the top corner, the top of the table.
I haven't heard from the top table, from the tournament director, what match we'll be showing next, but I would hazard a guess that this match will be followed fairly quickly by Clint Jansen and Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Neil looking here if he can. I think the middle of the 3 reds at the top does go into the left corner, so he's just going to pop this first red, rest on this yellow next to it. There you go. And now he needs to get out. I think he's got. He was always going to have slightly the wrong angle. There's no way that he couldn't have the wrong angle because he's resting into the yellow. But this shot now is the key to the frame.
Do you think he can screw out off the yellows?
Well, he can. It's such a hard shot to judge, and that's what Neil's. Well, Neil knows what he's doing. This is the key to the frame, and he's pointing on the cushion as to where he thinks he can get the white after screwing back. He's obviously quite straight on it because he's looking at going forward. I didn't think he was straight enough to be able to do that, but he obviously is. And if he is, then I think say the old rule: just leave yourself a shot. Doesn't want to flick that. Didn't want to flick that first yellow. So he obviously was slightly off straight. Yeah,
I'm wondering whether it goes to the left middle. It looks very tight on the screen. If it doesn't, then it's hard to see what sort of shot he can play.
Well, I think he's just far enough over to be able to play the red into. Oh no, he can play it in the middle.
It does go to the left middle.
Horrible jabby little shot this though.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Great shot.
Really good shot. He's not getting an awful lot easier.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to take the one down the left rail because he could pot the one to the bottom right, but the position may go wrong with that because he'll be flicking the yellow.
Exactly. Yeah, the pot into the bottom right's easier.
Yeah.
But the pot into the bottom left wins you the frame.
Yeah, if he makes the one to the bottom left, he wins the frame. You know, he'd be left with a very, very routine 3 balls.
Played it firm as well, and I thought he might have just dragged it in, but
slightly annoying from a lad to walk straight across the line of his shot then as he was queuing up. I don't know if that had an effect on the shot at all, but
I'm surprised he played it at that pace because if it had gone in,
he
wasn't on anything. Without being directly behind the shot, it's easy to say from here what you would have played, but maybe a drag shot with a tracer right hand side for me.
Yeah, that's the way I was seeing it as well. Just dropping it in.
Ben's got a clearance on here, but he's obviously clearly got one bad ball, and that's the black. So I'll be looking for. I've got a feeling he might not be getting into this black as early as he would want to. Might even leave it to his last shot.
It's difficult to see how he can get into the black. It's
if he was further up the table, if he was on the balk line now or slightly above the balk line, he could stun up table to leave himself the angle off of the yellow into the bottom right.
Yep.
To punch the black out, and then he's always going to have a ball top right to be on. But I think that probably was his intention, but just underhit it a little bit. Could be one of those matches these that, you know, once they get through, these are the hardest matches to win, winning ugly, especially when you play to the level that these two play to. But a couple of mistakes each, you could just see him really kick on after this match. Wouldn't be surprised if, say Ben, for example, wins this match. You see him go and win his quarter-final 7-1.
Yeah,
in 25 minutes, you know.
Do you think the fact they're having this match, that both players are so experienced about playing on the TV table on the stream, but do you think the fact that they may be playing, the fact that they're struggling on the stream just would be irritating? The fact they probably both played quite nicely to this point in the tournament, they got on the stream and all of a sudden it's not happening for them, and that's...
Yeah, it's certainly an extra doubt in your mind. I've thought it myself before, and you think, that's so annoying, I've been playing so well all day and I've made a couple of mistakes on the stream, and if you let it, I mean, it can affect you, yeah, I suppose, but in theory you should tell yourself that it doesn't matter and just concentrate on the game.
Yeah.
Ben looking here at, I think he's maybe looking now at getting into the black, and if he can, exactly what he's looking at now, so top right cushion, left hand sort of bottom cushion, and then push the black out towards, you know, the bottom cushion, and then he's got 2 balls that he can be on. Otherwise it'd be a bit more of a risk if this was his last ball, but I think he's maybe looking at, yeah, he's looking at doing it now. Perfect. Oh, unlucky.
He's unlucky.
He is unlucky. You're trusting to luck a little bit there.
If he catches that black, you know, 3/4 ball, you know, he's caught that quarter ball. If he catches it 3/4 ball, full ball, half ball, he's absolutely perfect. So he's.
Or if he just hit it a bit harder, it would have gone into the side cushion and come back out again. Neil's come over, had a look.
Yeah, total's been called, and Neil just wanted to confirm and has agreed. So I don't think it's going to have an effect on the shot that Ben's going to play. So I don't know. It may look to. I mean, is he going to come? Well, the obvious shot I think would be come off one cushion, trace the side, and hit the yellow at the bottom, because you want to kind of take the bottom right pocket ideally. But you know. And even if he potted that, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because he'd have the pot. He could still pot the one at the top. So one cushion and try and pot the one he's nearest to, I expect. But that black may be in the way for that. Certainly to make it easy, anyway. As it is a total, he could come off one cushion and just rest on the yellow at the bottom of the table. Wouldn't be leaving anything.
That's a really good choice, actually. I think that's the right shot. He's so aggressively minded. I mean, I didn't even think of that until you said it. But I think it is the right shot. You know,
he's thinking more aggressively than that, but it might buy him a visit.
Well, it's hard. It's hard not to, because.
Well, if he did that and got it right, he'd actually still be favourite for the frame, because Neil would be hard pressed not to give Ben a chance of something on the next visit.
Yeah, and it's hard for Ben to. If Ben rests into the.
He'll be happy with that.
Well, that's exactly what he played. He wasn't playing to pot it. It's a really good shot. He knew if he made that ball, then he was in all sorts of trouble. So he really wasn't trying to make.
I think if he makes that ball, though, the white, he hits it, has to hit it fuller, and I think the white still leaves him a shot at the one at the top. But it wouldn't have been easy. So now Neil's got a problem. I think he can see. You know, camera 3 probably shows that he can just see the red over the pocket. Not quite, but I think he can see the red over the pocket. So he's obviously got just the one red that's. Been blocked by that yellow that's causing a problem.
I said this before. If you're messing about in the pub, you might cut this red into the bottom left corner with rakes of left hand side, shove the black over towards the yellow and the red, and maybe hope to get a skill shot out of it.
Yeah, the yellow's too far away from the pocket to really go for it as a standard sort of skill shot, red onto yellow to make the red. It's just not. You could make that shot, but that yellow is quite a long way away from the pocket.
Yeah.
Dave's going to put the microphone on for Kevin Barton, who has just joined us.
Le chairman.
Good afternoon, gents.
Afternoon, Kevin. We were just talking about the potential next match on the stream. Is it going to be Clint Hansen and Jordan Shepherd?
Correct. It's already been confirmed that.
And that will follow this match fairly quickly?
Straight after.
Straight after. The players are raring to go.
Players are informed, chalking their cues.
I think he's just got enough angle to be able to dig in, but it's one of those where
he's quite close to the cushion. He'd have to really jack up on this.
Yeah, and if he maybe cannons into the red and yellow together, he's not guaranteed to be on the red.
That's right. He needs to flick it, doesn't he?
Who would you rather be, Kev? Would you rather be Neil or Ben right now?
In what aspect?
Just Paul.
Oh, just Paul.
Yeah.
Ben. Okay. I think he's speaking to him earlier. He's definitely up for this weekend.
I'm on about this shot. This very shot.
Well, this is a tough shot.
I think I'd be sat there as yellows, fairly happy.
Yeah, he's relying on luck, isn't he, for this to come out nice. He's just played a containing shot.
He's fooled everyone. Didn't see any value in that shot, to be honest.
So you think what's good for Ben here? Probably double that yellow down towards that corner, maybe, so that he can make something happen. Not obviously doesn't want it to reach that corner, but
I think he can double kiss that in. If he's straight on this yellow over the hole, he can double kiss that in.
I think he's so aggressive. How can it go wrong? If he plays the yellow into the top right hand corner with a tracer left hand side, here we go, he's looking at the angle now.
Yep.
How can it go wrong? Because if he flicks the balls together, it's going to bring the yellow out and leave it over the pocket. If he flicks the left hand side of the red or full on the red, he's going to pot the yellow.
So pop the one to the top right and move the ones at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer.
If he hits it too thick, he's going to go right cushion first.
Oh, he's missed that by a long way. He might get away with it.
He's going to go right cushion first like this, and it was going to work out all right. He's still big favourite for the frame.
So this match so far, Kev, to fill you in, it's been quite a nervy affair, to be honest. There's been a whole host of mistakes. Both players missed quite a few balls and not taking their chances when they've had them. So it's sort of almost like both players they've both been edgy, which has sort of made it an edgy match both ways.
Well, I think they know what's at stake.
Yep.
Place in the semi-finals.
Called us this
is
last 16
last 16 match.
Oh, sorry, it's the last 16. But they're slow, these kids, aren't they?
Need a bit more chalk there, Neil. That's a good shot. It's a really good shot.
Getting that close to the black has made sort of almost ruled out going for the yellow on the left-hand side, which means he's got to go for the yellow on the right-hand side. And if if he goes for that and it double kisses in, then he'll have a problem.
Yeah, I think we won't see him play it with much pace.
I've been watching because I was near a TV. I've just been chatting to a couple of people. I was watching some of the close-ups that Dave's getting with his new toy. Some amazing pictures coming through.
On a touching ball on the side cushion, and he's right close up. You can see not touching ball, but whether it was frozen or not. Now, it's caught a bit too much side.
Red first.
Red first.
Yep.
Red first. I think Ben's called that. I think that's.
There's no question of Ben not calling it. People might remember back to the first tour event of the season. I think the semi-finals against.
I remember.
Mark Farnsworth. He called a foul on himself at 6-all. That doing what Neil's doing now, actually placing the white or picking the white up that nobody else saw.
Yeah, I wasn't questioning that he might not call it. I was just trying to see the players to see if there was they'd agreed with your assessment of the red first.
Yeah. Who's your pick for the tournament? We've both.
I've picked finalists and score.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Well, based on what I've seen, well, not seen, but results-wise, Clint's obviously hitting some form with his beating of our double Open champion Mark Boyle. I guess whoever beats Mark Farnsworth,
the winner of this plays Mark Farnsworth.
Okay.
So if you could get off the fence, please, Kev.
Do you want to see this? Do you want to see the draw?
There we go.
Yeah, go on then.
Let's have a
Let's give him some help.
See that? he's got to be careful with this, because if he glances that second red when he screws back, he's going to.
I think that's why he looked at it for so long, wasn't it? It's not as straightforward as it looks.
I would have thought he would have topped it up quite a little bit harder to try and leave the left hand red as the next shot.
He doesn't want to flick this red on the way out. Good shot.
Oh, he's played that well.
Played it as well as he could. Yeah.
Okay then, so I'm going to predict a Mark Farnsworth, Clint Ianson semi, and I think and the other semi will be between. Oh dear me! How do you choose amongst this lot? I mean, it's ridiculous. Will be between Ronan and Liam Dunster. I think Liam Dunster will win that, so he'll be in the final against Mark Farnsworth, and I think Dunster will win 7-5.
Well, that's interesting, because I've gone for Clint to beat Liam Dunster 7-5 in the final, so we weren't far off the same. We both think the same, that Liam will make the final.
Yeah.
I've gone Jordan Shepherd to win the tournament, based on he's won a couple of IPA events before, and he's just come off the back of a money game win, and you quite often see people that come off the back of big money game wins win tournaments or go deep in tournaments. So I think Jordan Shepherd's going to win it, and he is going to beat Simon Ward in the final, 7-4.
Yeah, I think Simon's due a deep run in one of these events. It's been
Simon's another player, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
He like Jordan Shepherd, he wins tournaments when he goes deep.
Yep.
If you had some sort of stat up for like conversion rates once you get to a quarter final,
yeah,
I think someone like Simon and Simon and Jordan definitely be right up there with.
The thing I found surprising with Simon and watching him play and seeing his results over the last few years is he tends to win a lot of matches very easily and loses some big matches easily. He gets a lot. I've seen him have a lot of 7-0s and 8-0s and actually lose a few 7-0s and 8-0s.
Well, when Simon Ward gets to the latter stages, he's usually his conversion rate, I think, for victories is as high as anyone.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But let us know what you think. There's 600 watching the stream right now. Let us know who your tips for the titles are and why. Let us know your views. Do you agree with Simon Webb that it's going to be Clint, or with Dan that it's going to be Sheppy, or with me that it's going to be? Who have I predicted?
Liam.
Yep.
You're obviously really sure on your prediction.
Yeah. So you've gone for a breakthrough win.
Yeah. So. Are we talking nonsense? Is somebody else going to come through with what we've not said?
One thing's for certain, it's not going to be either of us three.
No.
All early baths.
Doesn't want to stick behind this red. Has he got away with it?
It's just been one of those matches for both players that they just keep finishing awkward.
Yeah, a couple of the shots we saw one earlier when Neil finished really close to the black, and a couple of the shots that it's so difficult for them to go wrong, like that shot there. It was so difficult. It was so unlikely for that to go wrong. If he hits it slightly harder, he's fine. Just slightly, if he kisses it a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker, it'd be all right. He's having to bend this a little. Just
to mention about Neil as well. I mean, he was very unlucky at Bradford to lose against Mark Farnsworth in the pro event. Lost 8-7, and Mark pulled out a ridiculous finish in the deciding frame.
Yeah.
He obviously
was that in the final or the?
No, it was quarters maybe. I can't remember exactly what round it was. But,
yeah.
I know he's been putting a bit of practice in. He did quite a bit of practice before the Cyprus event, of which he got beat in the final of that. So he's one of those quiet men who he's hitting his straps a little bit. And,
yeah, I think
quite potential could win this tournament.
seen a couple of things on Facebook about his pool room that he's got in his little extension or conservatory, or
I think he had an extension built for his pool room.
Yeah, and it looks really good, and he's got the Simonis cloth in there as well, and it.
He's probably trying to cram the practice in before him and his good lady have their new arrival. So his form will plummet after that.
And either that or be in the practice room even more. He might go in there to sleep.
Yeah. But he's also blessed with living in an area where there is an awful lot of very, very good practice partners for him available.
Yeah, definitely. Clever shot. Clever shot. I don't think he's left anything on for Ben here. Wanted to be a little bit closer to the red, but proper. I call that a proper pool player shot.
Didn't push the boat out. He could have played an aggressive option there, but he would have been trusting a lot to luck to finish on the next ball. And if he didn't, then he goes behind when he was able to keep control.
Yeah, just a clever little shot there. But Chris Adamu thinks Mark will win. Stuart Bowie. Dunster must be due to get to a final one of these, but he did get to the final of a pro event, didn't he?
In Warwick, he lost to John McAllister.
Yeah, last season, but yeah, definitely, certainly in that crop of players that's good enough to win one of these events.
I think it's a matter of time.
Yeah, just a matter of time. If he carries on doing what he's doing and practicing as much as he's practicing and playing in the amount of events that he does, then it is just a matter of time.
I think he made the semi-final in Cardiff of the Open event, losing to Mark Boyle.
He did, actually.
I don't think he went too deep in the pro event that time. I'm just trying to think how he got on in the second tour, which was Bradford. I can't remember his results there. He's done well in the World Series as well, qualified for 2 or 3 of them. So, yeah, his form's really tracking in the right direction. I really do think it's a matter of time before he wins a title.
What are we going to see here from Ben then? Extravagant? No. Containing shot. A little bit harsh, a little bit unlucky to... could have left this bottom right-hand yellow as a problem ball, but the red's just come away at the last minute. But
he sort of gestured in frustration, I think, partly because he didn't cover that yellow, but partly that he's knocked 2 balls onto a rail of his own as well. I don't think he's left anything easy to go at.
No. Do you take this into the corner, or do you? You probably do take it into the corner, don't you? See Ben's expression on his face there. He's fixed to the table. Sort of determined look, really. Zoom out. Wants to reach. That's perfect. It's a really, really good shot.
That is a very good shot. Should be a frame winner, that shot.
I think it will be.
He's got a bit of work to do, but he should...
He just needs to leave the white pretty much where the yellow is now. Take the yellow bottom right and then come across, and he wants to be on the line of the blue spot, really. Don't want to come too far over to the left, so that he can just pot the yellow into the top left corner and screw straight up table. So there we go. That's that in, and then it'll just come back across, but anywhere from where the white is now over to maybe halfway more towards the left-hand side cushion, and he's fine. He doesn't want to be over on this left-hand side cushion. It wouldn't be
what you see
a
with
huge problem, but
what you see with Neil playing quite often is he quite
dear.
not
See that
kick.
that. A kick or a miss? Let's see.
I'd be surprised a kick at that speed.
Yeah, that's how the match has been. To be honest, Kev, it's been like this. You think they're going to, run them out, and then something strange happens in a sort of
it seems to be that, yeah.
And he's left a big bag as well, so potential for Ben.
I was about to say, one of the things I've noticed with Neil playing over the last couple of years, he tends to work.
Looking at Neil now, that he's not happy.
You quite often see him point his cue at his sort of
Huff and
margin
puff.
of error. He points where the earliest point he could leave it and the furthest point, so we can see visually see his margin of error. He didn't see him do it there, but that's what he was looking at.
Yeah, and he didn't do it there, did he?
No.
He almost rushed it, and it's unlike Neil.
He was probably a bit like us. He never thought that he could miss that ball.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Ben's just going to go into the yellow now. This is one of his problem areas, and he's got into it earlier. That could have come out nicer, couldn't it?
Can he get the gap?
He'd love to be able to play the red on the rail on the right hand side, but I don't think he can see that.
See Neil still shaking his head. He does do that, although he's not an angry, aggressive character. He likes a head shake after a mistake.
Yeah, Ben's having a really good look to see if he can see the red that's touching the rail at the bottom end of the table. He'd love to be able to drop that in down the rail there, but I don't think he can see enough of it.
Mixed opinions on the chat about who's going to win. Big shot now from Ben.
Used to be pinpoint, and he was. That was a really, really good shot. Wants to get right over if he can.
He's got a little bit of insurance with that yellow going on the rail, so...
On the rail. On the rail for you, Kev.
Is it?
On the rail. Look at that. It's over the pocket.
Is it?
It wasn't. You didn't see me play
a million miles
earlier,
away from me, is that?
Ideally, you'd like to get rid of the two at the top of the table first, wouldn't you? And then come down for the three at the bottom, but he may go three at the bottom first.
I think he'd love to be slightly further over to the right here, because this is missable. And he has missed it as well. If he was slightly further over to the right, these three at the bottom would have been a gimme, and then he'd have had one positional shot to play to get close to the red on the right. But
he does have the insurance policy of this ball on the rail. All joking aside, it is awkward though.
Yeah, it is
awkward because it's not. I mean, it pots tough enough from there, but there's also it could be a tricky positional shot.
Well, the positional shot makes it a really, really difficult shot because he can't play a plain ball. If he's to take this one first on the left, he's got to play it with stun, and that just makes the shot.
And if he takes the one in the open, that red on the right hand side looks quite big.
That's definitely coming into play. Yeah.
He's going to take an aggressive option here. I don't think he's got a safety option, so he's going to go one of the two ways.
We saw it 2-all. He had at the time like the most important shot of the match, where he had to punch one up this cushion. And he nailed it, didn't he? But he landed really close to the black. But I think this is even more difficult.
Yeah, it was the shot of the match so far. I know he didn't get on the black perfectly, but great pot.
Here we go.
That white club there. Oh, that way. Couldn't see it. I was looking down there.
Oh, it's not too far away, but it's a tough shot. It's a 1 or 2 out of 10 under that pressure as well.
You heard a little "come on, Ben" from the crowd. The one thing with there's quite a few Welsh professionals, we were talking about that earlier, but they do stick together and support each other as well, which is nice to see. I mean, they all practice against each other and all good friends off the table.
Yeah, Ben looking for the rest here. He knows the right shot is probably to play this red he's closest to, and I'm not quite sure what angle he's got, whether he can just screw behind the red or whether he's just going to go into it, because if he goes into it, he's guaranteed to be on the red into the bottom right corner. But yeah, this is the key shot to the frame. And he's just landed on it. He's played it pretty well. I wonder if we'll see him screw up table now so that he can plant the what we're looking at now.
So to get the white right somewhere past where his hand is now.
Yeah. He's rammed that in.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's frame over.
That really is a great shot.
It's a confident shot. He got down and just hit it, didn't he? He's
yeah.
Just no messing about.
I think we're not far away from that stage where Ben he is frustrated, where he might speed up trying to find some rhythm. If he has a big, I think it's his break next. I'm not sure, but his next opportunity, you may find him try and look for a bit of rhythm and play a little bit quicker. Not that he's playing slowly now, but
I think you're right. I think you might get that absolutely spot on. I think you might see him quicken up now. I'm just going for a little toilet break now. I think you see, like we said before, with certain players, if you told Jordan Shepherd he had to count to 15 before he played any shot, he wouldn't be the player that he is.
No.
And likewise, if you told a slower player that he had to play, put a shot clock on him, they wouldn't be the player that he was. And Ben sort of, it's not that he's not sure what sort of player he is, but sometimes you just need to change it up a little bit, Find a bit of form, play a bit quicker.
So Ben's just left the room. We'll have a look to see if there's been any updates on the scores, and there hasn't. There's still the last 16 matches are still in progress. And the all-Scottish battle between Liam Dunster and Ryan Fleming, and then Greg Batten and Ronan McCarthy, who weren't called to the table that long ago, so wouldn't have expected a result from them yet. We're going to send the chairman out, and he's going to go and give us some updates so we can update you shortly.
Some latest scores. Ben's just walked past and he's looked at us and sort of stuck his hand out as if to say he's got the shakes, but sort of with a smile on his face. Big break from Neil. 4-3 down, it's getting towards the end of the match. You go dry here, you could be 6-4 down in 5 minutes. Oh, he's gone straight off. That's a shocker.
He would have sat there the whole time thinking, right, big break.
Yeah.
Break dish, let's get this match going again, and he's come out and done that.
He's staring in disbelief at the table. He's so annoyed. They are the most annoying. My match earlier, I didn't break very well at all, and you do go straight in off as well. It's so frustrating. As he's zooming onto Neil there, and he's not happy. There'll be a head shake soon. The
way the match has gone so far, you know, I wouldn't surprise me if Neil got back to the table in this frame, and and we continue the way we're going to 6-6.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
If this was frame 1 and that happened, we would be talking about what a great chance for Ben to get on the board 1-0. We would already be, you would expect him to win the frame from here. He's got a free shot to develop a couple of awkward points, but just the way the match has been.
I think this first shot, if this comes out nice, we'll see Ben play oh, well. It's come out okay.
Yeah,
it could be better. If we look at camera 3, I think the red... well, it definitely goes off of the other red, which might be the shot anyway. If he can get down to it in the next 2 shots, maybe. If he can drop the red into the middle, drop the red into the bottom right corner. I don't want to be too close, that's fine. And now he could potentially play the red off the other red and open that pocket up.
Yeah.
Oh, he can see the plant, can he? Okay.
Okay, so that red by the black probably goes. It might go both It might go to both corners, but it doesn't look like it does.
Well, it definitely goes into this bottom left corner, but he just maybe hasn't got a full pocket. But Ben seems to be quickening up a little bit, exactly as you called it, and he. Because I think it's just one of the route's obvious now, anyway. So why mess about?
Why overthink it? Yeah.
Yeah. You're just creating tension, if anything, by taking your time. He's just checking his angle. One thing you would do want when you've got half a pocket, you always want to get close to the red, and he's actually got slightly. He hasn't really got the angle he wants here.
Yeah, you want to be straight behind it as well. You don't want to be having it. You want to be able to see it.
Yeah, you want to be as close as possible to it. You want it to be closer than this, really, but if it goes, it goes. Obviously, he doesn't seem to be wasting too much time. Yep.
So we're very, very quick. Once he played his first 2 shots, he sped up and rolled those in nicely. And I can update you with some scores. So Liam Dunster has just won 7-3 against Ryan Fleming and will now play Simon Ward. Rona McCarthy is 2-1 up on Greg Batten, and the winner of that match will play Michael Peel, and that will be the quarter-final complete. So Mark Farnsworth plays the winner of this match. Jordan Shepherd, Clint Janssen, which we'll be bringing you as soon as this match finishes. Simon Ward and Liam Dunster. And then Michael Peel plays the winner of Greg Batten and Rona McCarthy. So shaping up nicely, Kev.
Yeah, so yet again we've got a few surprise names in the mix, which is good.
Yeah, there's always 1 or 2 at every event.
I think Michael Peel is this is his first quarter-final of a tour since he's...
I would think he's ex-professional, is Michael. He was pro quite a few years ago. Took time out from the game, but back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen who he's played today, but I did hear he beat Gareth Hibbert in one of the earlier rounds, which is a great win. The 2016 world champion and current seniors world champion.
Yeah, and who won his first tour match of the year yesterday.
He did mention.
In Tour 3. Tremendous achievement. I think that draws him level with me.
Draws him level with Viv.
I don't think I'm much better. I lost both first rounds in Cardiff. Bradford I won my first 2 matches.
Yeah, that's a right run you got on there.
That was a right run, yeah. Lost both this weekend.
I think I'm in a similar position myself. So
that's why
we're here.
Commentators.
So just disregard everything we're saying and do the opposite.
Don't listen. This is where I'm best. He wants to flick that. He wants to be on it. I don't think he is.
I think he can just
Camera
swerve
4?
it, but he certainly can't. Yeah, he can't.
Camera 4. It's not impossible for him to bend that and swerve it in, but the frame's so easy if he's just slightly lower.
If he catches that full ball, say it's a fairly routine run out from there. So, but it's not too bad if he can just swerve it and make it. But it's quite a good swerve. It's quite a good. It's not.
I think we might see him go up table, take the yellow top left, follow the white through a little bit, and then come back down table for the other three.
It looks quite tricky to get a good angle on the yellow at the top, because if he's straight on this, he might not be able to get too good on that yellow at the top of the table.
He's got a little bit of angle.
Okay, he had enough angle, yeah, he's played that well.
So just needs to play this shot at the right pace. I think he'd want to get on the yellow into the right middle.
He'd love the natural angle to be coming down just the left-hand side of the table.
Yeah, I think he's just going to have to put a little bit of stun, hasn't he? A little bit of stun or a little bit of punch. A bit of a punchy shot here. Can't just play it plain ball. I think he'll be running into the reds.
These are tricky shots if it is.
I say he would have loved that white to be another inch to the right.
Tough shot at 5-3 down.
He's played that really well.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's gone a bit too far for him though. It's,
horrible roll. Just 6 inches further up and he'd have been perfect. I think it's always a little bit harder, a little bit easier to misjudge the pace on those shots because it wasn't a plain ball shot. He had to play it with a bit of a sort of almost like a stun run through.
Yeah, a bit punchy.
Yeah. So this is getting to the point of the match at 5-3 down. One mistake here, it's probably 6-3.
they almost look stuck together, those two balls, aren't they?
Yeah.
He can still pot the one in the middle, but that just gives him no position, and it's a tough pot anyway. So he's going to have to play the one to the bottom right. But how does he get a cue ball from there?
Horrible shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, even looking at screwing up table and around the angles, I think the red's in the way near the brown spot, the black's in the way.
Has he got a double on?
Does he? Might be a good option, you know.
I'm not sure it's on.
I think if the double does go, it's probably the shot. Because if he misses it, he should get the bag.
So it looks like he's going to cut this in with some check side and try and cannon the yellow and red, that little area there.
Oh, that could have come out so much better.
That wasn't far away from what he was playing, and it's come out pretty awkward.
Well, he thinks it goes.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Look at camera 3. I don't think it goes, does it?
He's having a good look. Must be tight. And even if it goes, it's tough to find the potting angle when they're this close and like this.
He's looking at playing it off the yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really difficult shot.
No.
Wasn't as far off as it looked.
It's not a bad nudge because camera 3 shows he's not on the one in the middle, which leaves him a tricky first ball if he's got a first ball, which I'm not so sure he has. I suppose he can pop the one second in from the left middle to the top right or top left.
It was a very un-Neil Raybone-like clearance, that wasn't it? It was.
It's just been the way the whole match has been. It's just
he's normally so good with his white ball that
Yeah.
he makes it quite, but he never just quite got that white ball
No,
where he
it's
wanted.
all spiralled out, slightly out of position, then a little bit more out of position in the next shot, and then before you know it, glued to a ball. We're going to see Ben play a safety here. He doesn't want to, does he? He really doesn't want to. But he can play the red top right and bring the white round, so he's probably going to snooker Neil if he misses and sort of play it as a shot to nothing. But
I'll be really surprised if he doesn't take that pot on.
Yeah.
Big sigh there from Neil.
Yeah, he knows the match is slipping away.
I am really surprised.
Collector's item.
Played it well as well. I think it's perfect. It's hard to see how Neil can even get lucky here.
Well, you might miss the total, so you might just try and come behind it dead weight.
Yeah, one cushion, touch onto the red, onto the yellow. He's looking at something a bit more advanced.
He's looking at a very un-Neil Raybone type shot. That's something you'd go for, Dan. This won't be short of pace, I don't think. It'll be one or the other.
Oh,
He hasn't got
hello.
up there, has he?
Whoa.
I don't think it went up there, did it? I think that's about as close as he could have got to it. Right. I think Ben's going to figure his route out, and then he's going to do what you mentioned earlier. He's going to clear these up really quickly.
Yeah.
Bit of rhythm going. It's not.
He wants to get rid of the one on the rail sooner rather than later, I would have thought.
Yeah, playing it now.
He's going to move it.
That's a sign. That's a sign of him not being overly confident. That's a sign of someone that's made a couple of mistakes this match.
Yeah.
He didn't need to get on that. He didn't need to do that. He's made it way easier for himself, but at his very best, I think he would just have just landed on that and just knocked it in.
I think that's a bit short of where he was playing. I'm not sure. I think he was trying to come up the table a bit more, but shouldn't cause too much of a problem. But
He should be fine. But
think
yeah,
like
you are right.
a lot more on that.
You could have afforded to overhit that. If you overhit it, you're on the red into the left middle, and you can reroute easily. But I mean, it should be fine. This is the only thing that can go wrong. Doesn't want to flick it too. It's about as bad as that could have come out.
He's
Really?
just getting away from him.
Yeah.
I can't believe he didn't take the one into the left middle, white off the top rail, up and down. Choice of 3 reds.
Yeah, it's just he's played a couple of shots like that where he's just you know sometimes when you start a match badly, it's hard to break out of it.
I know that very well, Dan.
But as opposed to starting well, making a couple of mistakes, but then kicking on again, I think it's harder to get yourself out of a little rut if
Needs
you're
to bounce. Needs to bounce.
not quite enough. No.
So he
Little
can't
tester.
see the one over the pocket, so now needs a good pot.
This will hurt so much if he doesn't clear these. I mean, they were sat there.
Neil's perked up a bit. Stop checking his watch now, and he's praying that he might get a shot.
Can't bear to look. You can't bear to look. Good shot.
Yeah. Good recovery.
Yeah, that will be 6-3.
Neil's just gone tired again.
6-3, which means I can't remember who won the lag. I think it's
Neil's break next.
Neil's break, is it? So,
No way.
He's okay.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
Neil's smiling.
As he was walking around the table there, he thought that was going to wedge right up behind it. Just by the way Ben was when he walked past us on the way back from the little break he took, I think he's very aware that he's struggling, and also the fact that he's on the TV table as well. You know, I think that's. I think he might if he wins this match, he'll probably say that he just feels a little bit embarrassed by the way the match went.
Yeah, and I think it does put a different kind of pressure on you coming to tournaments when you have prepared really well for them. It's the expectation, whether that be from yourself, your friends, your family.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different type of pressure, and it can have its own problems sometimes. I definitely wouldn't recommend coming to tournaments without expectation, without being prepared. But It's a different mindset. So when you do start throwing mistakes, you sort of wonder why. Why am I?
Yeah.
Why am I not playing as well as I can? Because I've prepared so well for this. You know. Should be a pretty routine finish for Neil here.
Yeah, that was a great break from Neil.
Yeah, I mean, this just a series of stuns and this will be frame over.
Hardest ball being the black.
Yeah, he's got one positional shot to play.
Do you think he's going to nudge the black out? I can't see. You know, if he was full of confidence, there's no way he would. But I think there's a chance.
He's got a free goal though to do it, hasn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, he can't not be on a ball.
Table 2, Jordan Young, Wayne Smith. Jordan Young, Wayne Smith, table 2. Table 4, Declan Duff, Jared Crongy. Declan Duff, Jared Crongy.
He's shaking his head, but
I think
he's
he's okay if he can see the one nearest the pocket. He just drop that in, and he should be absolutely fine.
But his body language is as if he's snookered.
Yeah.
You know?
To me, it looks like he's got a choice of 2. I mean, camera 3 doesn't quite show, but you can see the one he's nearest to goes.
David Jones, Dave McNamara, table 13.
It's okay.
Just about okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right. Yeah. Just, it's going to need to play a really nicely controlled shot here. I think he's probably going to have to dig in a little bit. So a little bit of stun, but you want to guide this with just a bit of left-hand side, really. A little bit low on the white, a little bit left-hand side. Perfect.
We're being accused of not interacting on the chat.
Okay.
Who said that? Actually, I don't care. I mean, sorry. Yeah, who?
Okay, if you need to, you know, we were just catching up on the chat because we didn't have it open, but we have now. So fire away with the comments, and we'll do our best to answer them.
That was a good finish from Neil. He's under a bit of pressure there with the way it's gone, and a couple of times that could have just got away from him, and he's taken him out well in the end. So continuing to fight.
Table 17, Dan Ailing and
Ben's made a ball.
Made a couple. It's a good split.
How easy is this going to be then to close the match out?
It looked like it was going to be better than it is, to be honest. It's it's not that easy.
No, it's I would call it a tricky clearance, as opposed to well, it's not easy, but it's not really difficult either. He's gonna have one or two.
Which way you see? Are you seeing yellows? Take the one to the top and then try and nudge the other one out. Second shot, or do you think in reds because you don't have to do as much nudging around?
If the bottom two reds are covering each other, as in if the bottom one's covering the one above it, in this bottom right hand corner, then I'd maybe go yellows.
So I think if you take the long straight yellow first, you should leave yourself a yellow on the one at the top to come off the top cushion and nudge that yellow out. But you might leave yourself a tricky next shot. Of course, he might be able to take the one at the top first shot and develop the other yellow if he goes yellows. But it's not ideal either way. No. It's a tricky first couple of balls.
But he has got a chance to win the match. Chance number 1. I think that is the right shot. The yellow near the blue spot. Punch that in and out the side cushion. Leave yourself an angle to get the. Actually, can you even land on it on this? Okay, well he can now. So he can screw behind it. It's quite a delicate shot, but he can go top cushion with a bit of left hand side and a bit of bottom, a bit of a soft screw, really delicate shot, and that will win him the frame.
Yeah, if he gets on that yellow at the top, it will win him the frame.
Yeah,
and the
but
match.
Does he just try and punch it out? If you do, you don't want to miss the gap. Oh, he flicked the red. Wow. That's a lovely flick. He didn't play that.
Well, he's not going to have great position on his next one after this.
No, and if he didn't flick that red, he wouldn't have been on this yellow. I think he might have to take his venison and leave himself a long shot after this.
Yep.
It's pretty much impossible to get close. Run into the reds. That's as well as he could have done.
Well, that's a great shot, because if he'd have left it over the left-hand side of the table, we've had no positional shot after putting one down the rail.
This
it's all
is
about this shot.
Tricky positional shot off this one though as well.
It's all about this shot.
At an exhibition, you play this with rakes of drag right-hand side, and on this cloth you can get the white over towards the left middle pocket.
Yeah.
1 in 100. Oh, he's taking. Okay. I like this.
He's not made it.
He's not made it, but I like the fact that he's gone. Right. The yellow. The yellow at the very bottom was an easier pot, but he wasn't guaranteed position, so he took the more difficult pot, and if he gets that more difficult pot, it's match over. I think that's right. He did the right thing.
Yeah, took the ball that was going to win in the frame, not the easiest pot.
Yeah. Well, why take an easier pot if you're not guaranteed position? Like that was effectively a ball down the cushion. That was the black, really, because these were unmissable.
Yeah.
Andy Robinson. Andy Robinson, 217.
You see how quick these matches can turn, though. If Neil can somehow make this finish, it needs to come out.
Again, it's finishing. It's just finishing awkward. It's just getting bad flicks here and there. He's just not as precise as he normally is.
How close to the? If we can get a zoom on this top left-hand corner pocket, how close is that red to the pocket? Because if it's right on that jaw, he's in all sorts of bother. If it's away from it, it's quite an easy shot. He's just slightly awkward queuing. You can see this firsthand.
It's on its way.
Yeah. He was close to it. He was close to the. It was quite. Obviously, wasn't much between the ball and the cushion there, and that's what's probably cost him the match. Quite
a thin cut from being Chinese snooker. That was tough. When they're that close to the pocket, they look easy, but that was tough.
I think we might see Ben play cushion first here. In this yellow, cushion first with side.
No, straight for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that it's blocking the black into the middle, because it'll be going in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, just bring the white out. Don't be too fancy, and leave yourself, I think, a cut in the middle and white up and down the table.
Just don't want to overscrew this and snooker himself.
Yeah, don't try and. Oh, he had a bit of angle to force it and come out. Has he gone too far?
I think he's probably gone a bit further than ideal.
So yeah,
just run it off the cushion, a bit of right hand side, surely.
Well, I'm sure he's got enough angle as well to force it if he wants to just play it a bit of top. He's looking now at playing it with a bit of top left. Only he really knows what angle he's got.
It looks almost dead straight on the camera.
I'm sure if it was, they'd just screw back.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, left angle.
Played that really nicely.
Match over.
That's
match
the match.
over.
Well played, Ben Davies.
He'll be happy to win, but not with his form he showed. Although he got the job done, so he moves on to play Mark Farnsworth in the quarterfinals. Are we going to give him a grilling, Dan?
Yeah, I think he's. I think Ben's coming over for a word.
Yeah, we'll see if we can catch a chat with him, and we already see Jordan Shepherd already ready to go, so it won't be long before the next match. Chomping at the bit,
old Sheppy.
Yeah, he doesn't hang about. He wants to get going. So yeah, Jordan Shepherd versus Clint Hansen in the quarterfinals. We'll be coming to you soon, but we'll also try and get a word with Ben. see Clint's coming over the scorecard as well. So yeah, it really will be only a minute or two. We'll see Clint coming in there. You just saw him. Oh no, we're not showing that camera. But, see Ben coming over for a chat.
Ben over now for a chat, yeah.
Next match on table 1, Liam Dunster and Simon Ward. Simon Ward and Liam Dunster, table 1, please.
Right, joined now by Ben.
Hello Ben, well played, or nice win.
Go easy on me, lads. Don't stick a boot in too much.
What did you put that down to? You've been playing so well.
I haven't eaten nothing all day, and if I go so long without eating nothing, I just get the shakes. And that's why I was trying to get like a drink, chocolate, just try and get something.
Yeah, when you went to the bar, you came back with a chocolate bar. You said to us, didn't you? You weren't ready to have the shakes, yeah.
I don't know. I just couldn't settle in that game.
I think you dragged each other down.
Possibly,
it's as bad as you two have ever played. I mean, the standard you normally play to, everyone knows, but like, I think it was just one of those matches you're probably more pleased to get through that than if you just played well.
Well,
in a way,
you could take a positive from it. So surely I can't play that bad again. So,
do you think you must have been in that situation before where you've had a poor match but managed to get through, and then have you thrived on that and then gone on and done? You know, so you're still feeling good for the tournament. You're in the quarterfinals now.
Yeah, a tournament, especially a tournament like this, all finished today.
Yeah,
it's a long day. You're not going to have a perfect round every round. There's going to be rounds where you're struggling, and you just have to dig in and try and grind the result out. And yeah, when you do come through rounds like that, you can tend to kick on afterwards, like, you know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a case of winning ugly. That's what you see your players like. Your players that consistently win, your Farnsworth, and they'll have their one or two matches in a tournament where they have to win ugly, but they do win ugly, and like, you know, probably.
Yeah, you've got to have a B game, haven't you, at some point, you know. It's not good having an all-out A game where you could just pot everything off the table, because it doesn't always work like that. There's going to be times where you don't feel so comfortable, and like I said just now, you just got to dig in and grind the result out. You've been there, you've been there yourself, Dan. You probably know the score.
Yeah, I think I heard you earlier in the week as well say about how much you've been practicing, and how you mentioned about sort of 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
And you sort of really got back the love for the game and that. Do you find in a way that kind of puts you under a little bit more or a different type of pressure?
No, I wouldn't say so. No.
Just the expectancy, because you maybe expect yourself to do
myself,
better.
You mean?
Yeah, not from other people, but
okay.
But you know, when you sort of you maybe make a couple of mistakes, and you think, hold on a sec, I'm flying in practice, I'm putting the hours in.
Yeah.
You know, you almost haven't got an excuse, but it's great once you're off and running, because you're so in the groove, because you've been playing so much. But
I don't think it affects me like that, to be honest. No, I've been around long enough, and I to know that what's what. And like I say, I am enjoying the game, and I've been playing really well up until that game. So, like, me and Craig played up there, and there was like maybe one missed ball in the whole match. And then I don't know what's happened there, to be honest. Hopefully that's my one bad one out the way. So,
have you played well throughout the day until this match?
Yeah,
really well.
I think I've missed much all day.
Yeah,
until that match. I missed a week's worth in one game.
So you've got Mark Farnsworth next in the quarterfinals. Do you really care who you play? Is it now you're there? You
really. Doesn't get any easier anyway, does it?
No.
The standard's really high, so it doesn't matter who you play, really.
If you're going to win the tournament, you're probably going to have to beat him at some point anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. He's going to be, like you say, even if he's in the other half, he's probably going to be in the final anyway.
Just the way it's going at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to beat them at some point. So.
Are you going to get some food now then in between?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How long is? I don't even know how long is the next game.
He's ready to go, as in he's already won his quarterfinal, so he's been a while. So I imagine it won't be too long.
No,
so
well, he can wait. He can wait. What's the time for the next game?
I would imagine it would be as soon as you're ready, would be my guess. But so you might want to go and speak to Bebby.
We'll have an hour.
Yeah.
Before you go, who wins out of this match, Clint and Jordan? What's your prediction?
Oh, put me on the spot there now.
And we need a score as well, otherwise you sort of can't move and you've got to commentate.
Jordan's been flying all day, but it's one of them. I got to stick my neck out there and say Jordan 7-5.
Yeah, I was going to say a Welshman couldn't pick an Englishman over a Welshman.
No, I'm going to say 7-5 Jordan. Yeah. He's one of them. If the ball's open for him, he could blow anybody off the table, can't he?
Yeah. Well, cheers, Ben.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, well done, Ben.
Jordan's won the lag.
So in our predictions, I've got Clint winning the tournament and you've got Jordan winning the tournament. So